Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and starting with the NASDAQ here just to get the bigger picture. We're still unfortunately in this particular wave 4 here, so we'll need to finish this off before we can head higher, and that will be the same with the S&P. So we take a closer look at this here, and also too, once we've got this 1, 2 all the way up here for 5 waves, when we look at stocks like Tesla, they sort of show that we'll have a larger correction here and then a move up from that point. So it's just something that we'll need to work through to verify that, that's all. So just going from the daily chart here into the 20,000 tick chart just to get an intraday picture of this here. We're not that far away from being finished here, so we still need another low to to come in here, and it'll probably be something like this here to finish off on this here. So that's basically the A, the B, and the C wave here. So most of the stocks are kind of like this as well. I mean, we've got Netflix and Tesla that had poor sales results, so they might actually have larger corrections, and I'll explain those when we get to those. So with that in mind, move over to Apple. We can see Apple here. Also, this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and the 38.2% retracement level. As I've always mentioned, you can count this up in different ways. You could also put wave 1 over here and change this around a little bit. But in one way or another, we should be sort of coming down into the wave, the 38.2% and the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. We should be in this area, and we can see that with the stochastics here, but there are different ways to view this to the upside as well. We could put a larger wave 3 there as well, and that would kind of suit a classic trading levels pattern too, actually, at the 200 here. So the arrival, the reaction, first high above the level, and then a larger ABC pattern here before moving up higher again. And we need to verify if we're actually going up here again as well, because we've got 5 waves here. We should be going up, but we're above the old high here, so we don't need to. So that's something that we'll just need to verify over here, but definitely some sort of wave 4 here, and we'll need to push up at that point. So if I just cut straight into the let's just get a bit more data in here. So just right into the intraday of 100 ticks here. This has got a little bit more to go down. So we've got wave 3 over here with an A wave and a B wave, and then we have to look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then all the way down for green wave 3, 4, and 5 here, I reckon. And this would be 1 and 2 now, and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third here, and the fourth and the fifth. So it hasn't landed yet. We should find support and buying opportunity around the 176.50 to the 178 there, but we'll drill into that. We'll make sure we get an impulse wave to the upside on that. And moving over to Amazon here, also on the intraday on 100 ticks, we can see that we've actually got 5 waves down here. So it appears we're going to get some sort of ABC correction here for this before moving up, and this would also put us in pretty much in line with what's happening, you know, in the NASDAQ of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down, probably touching a bit closer to the 15,000 at that point, depending what happens in the off hours. So yeah, an A and a B and a C wave here, and up to the 150 at that point. And over to Nvidia. Nvidia's been in a correction for quite some time as well here. We might need to be a little bit careful here for this, just in case I need to look at, and I don't think that's right there either, so I'll just put that, that's not right, so just bear with me a second. So we might need to look at this here as a wave 4 here actually, and a wave 5 down here. So it's okay to take that long trade out here, but otherwise I think that we need to be mindful that we don't get 1, 2 here, 3 coming off the lows down here somewhere, 4 and 5 coming down here and finishing off. So going long above the top here will be fine. But yeah, there's a good case for putting this over here for this on this market. It is a little bit high as a rally, but yeah, just need to be a bit mindful about that. But yeah, certainly we can go long above the top there, because we, as a wave 4, it shouldn't be going any higher than it is. Otherwise, it's going to be overlapping wave 1. Okay, so don't move in too quickly on that one. And Meta platform. So it does appear we're getting 5 waves down here, so we have to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for a C wave. So in one way or another, an A and a B and a C wave here. We could also look at it as a wave 4 as well. So we could look at this here as wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and then 5 up to this point. If I can call that wave 1, that means I can also call it wave 5 as well. So I'll just wait for a session here, and we'll look for a long trade setup here. But otherwise, looking for a long trade on top of 320 would be looking for the first high above the level. Over here would be the right thing to do. So just either wait for that first high, like this one here, just wait for that to come in play, and then draw your line across the top there. And yeah, I think this 330 could give us a bit of a hassle too, if this is wave 4 here. Let me just reorganize things a little bit. That would leave that as wave 3 here. And we would look at this here as, of course, as wave 1 and 2 at this point. So we can go long here, but we'd probably still end up with a move up here somewhere, and then another move coming in across here. So yeah, if we went long here, it'd probably be a good idea to take some money off the table there, but we'll just keep an eye on that trend that's going to the upside there. It's just that it's rather large for a wave 4, that's all. It wouldn't pull down. I mean, it shouldn't pull down too much further here either. So the first impulse wave that you see moving up here, if you can get that, then that would be fine as well. So it's really a question, is the market going to be pulled down to this number here? Yeah. Or is it going to, move up and move away from it at that point? That's the situation. And normally you would use, well, the top of group 1, which is the 330 over here, support here would tell us that we're leaving this number. So all we're trying to do is get in a little bit sort of earlier here on the 320 at that point. But it'll probably move up with the rest of the markets as well, so which won't be in the next session. There's too much. Friday didn't close strong, so the pressure's still to the downside. With Netflix here, we know they don't have good earnings, so that means that we just need to be a little bit careful here with this. So that means that this here could end up being probably not the right way to do it. Probably better over here. That's the 61.8%. So it's possible for this one and Tesla to move down lower still. So we'll just need to keep a bit of an eye on it. But we've got 5 waves here. That means we can move over to here now. Is it possible to put wave 2 here or leave wave 2 here? I can see there's two reasonable cases for that. But in breaching any of these highs here, that would put us to the upside and keep us safe too, because if the market just came, down from here, then we haven't been triggered in. But if it moves to the upside, then we've been triggered in. And I don't think we should stick around too long, anywhere above the 50 here. So 53, you could probably stretch it to 55, 56 tops at that point. Yeah, 56. I'd probably just bring that down a little bit just to be safe anyway. We can always get back in once we can see, once we're past, if we can see we're going to be moving past this particular move here. So we'll just be a little bit careful about that situation there. And the next one is is Google. So with Google here, we've got a nice clear wave 1 up here with 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave. So we're looking for the fourth wave to come into play here. It looks like it's under pressure. The market has moved up here on lower volumes at the end of the session, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but we should end up with a little move down and then a move up at that point for this. So not a lot in this. We do have some trades in here. We'll look at that on the intraday. But I was looking at this on the communications sector here, which is quite large on the Alphabet side of things. So here we can look at this here. Well, you know, we're at the 50-60% retracement level area here. So yeah, by all means, we could have an ABC for the A wave here, the B wave here, and then 5 waves up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that would make a C wave up there. I just have to increase those sizes, you know. But otherwise, in line with the S&P, the NASDAQ is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and coming up for 3. So the communication sector can drop further. This has got the same pattern here as Google, but it does have a different count here. From here, it's just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. So it can certainly come back where Google's got this. I mean, this is Google. It's got the same pattern here as this one here, but we're still short one move to the upside here for that. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, and just on the 100 ticks, just checking this area out here because we've got some trades in here. And the thing is that this move that I was hoping to get to the upside on is, you could probably get 5 waves out of it, but you're really bending the envelope a lot. So an A and a B and a C wave here, but I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, but it you know, there is a fair bit of overlap there. So we'd need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 coming down here. So that would leave, could probably go long after this again. We'll just see what it looks like in the next session. If it's sort of back here, we can have a look at what we've got here. We may be able to drop to bring this over to here and then build on top here and build in through that way. So that's where that is. It does appear that there's one more move to the upside based on this being wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here, and yeah, they'll probably find a bit of support on the top there and give it a bit of an overlap, and but we still need one more to the upside over here for that. We could look at that as a B wave, but it's a little bit high, and the C wave would bring it way down here, which is kind of in line with the you know, with the communication sector, really, you know. So that could pull back to the wave 4 here, and that's just wave 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, bringing this back down into this space before moving up. So it does concern me a little bit when I look at this and then have a look at this here. But this is the previous high over here. But we just need to be a little bit mindful. It could be like the Netflix and the Tesla that can come down further. It's possible. So anything below this structure here, this is where we'll keep a bit of an eye on. Anything below that will bring this stop up under that low here. I don't know exactly what price that is at the moment, but it doesn't really matter. It's really just the price action, because if we do view that as wave 1 and 2 here, and then all the way down for 3, there might be another little bit here. So we're going to see the 4, and then we're going to see the 5. And then after 5 waves from here to here, we're going to see some sort of rally. So that means that we can put that stop under there, because anything lower than that, that means that we would end up seeing, you know, this wave C or 4 over here. I'll just bring that a bit closer so I don't forget about it. Yeah, so that is doable at that, you know, it is possible, you know, I'm not ruling it out. But yeah, so, and if we get an impulse wave up here, then we can just continue to our target and perhaps even add another position on that side of it. Okay, Microsoft. Yeah, look, to be honest, you can count this pretty much any way you wanted to, but I think looking for another low in line with the NASDAQ and the rest of the pattern. So this one here is the same as 1, And because there's no 5 waves up here, I mean, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it doesn't make any sense. So it's an ABC for the A wave, or actually an A wave here, then an A and a B and a C wave here. So an A and a B and a C wave up here. So definitely a corrective pattern. So we'll look at this as 1 and 2, and the third wave could come a little bit lower here, and then a fourth and a fifth to come down further. So we're looking for one more low before this comes into play. And I also need to confirm this too, because the reality is I could count this in different ways. So, I could count this as the A and the B here, and then 1 and 2 here, but it looks like a bit of a B wave here too, really. So I could come over to here. So I could actually get an extra leg down here as well. I could get another leg down here based on. So this count could be counted anyway. So it doesn't really matter. What we'll be looking for is the whole market as a consensus, as a herd to turn. And we want to find, we want to get that first impulse wave to the upside in the markets. And once we've got that, and as the major sort of consensus, which we don't have at the moment, then we can go long. So we don't have that just yet. And that's just the bonds. Where's Tesla gone? Over here. So put that over here. So Tesla's one that, the thing about Tesla, this is a weekly chart and it's on log scale here by the looks of it. But yeah, this is corrective patterns over here. So we should be taking that top out here. We do have 3 waves up here. So we could really, I think we may have talked about this before, but it could be an A and a B and a C up here, and then we come down for a C wave here. That's possible. I can't rule that out. I don't think it's the case because the market's to the upside still not finished, generally in the general market. So it's probably not the case, but I'm just saying it can be an A and a B and a C here. It's coming into supply. So whatever moves that come up through here, now we can see that it's hit supply, so resistance. So so there's not going to be a lot of upside to come, So even if you wanted to squash 5 waves up here as 1 and 2, and it is quite a nice third wave, a little bit small, 4th and 5th here, then you're going to get that same with the rest of the markets at ABC there before pushing up higher. And that's why I think that like the S&P and the NASDAQ and so on, because this is corrective here and it hasn't made a new high above here, that means any 5 wave structure up here is just going to be wave 1 and then 2, then 3, then 4 and 5. You know what I mean? So I think we're in a bigger bullish market than we think that we're in. I know the economy is shit, but well, just really the money printing, really, I guess, isn't it? Anyway, beyond my pay grade. So there's different ways to count this. We could count it as 1 and 2. And 1 and 2, so we'll see how far it comes back. So this could be, we could label this here wave 1 and 2 here for this, so to speak, just using these. It could be 1 degree higher, but that's okay. And then we could look at this as 1 and 2 here, just sort of shooting the breeze here a little bit. So we'll just see how far this comes back. If it just comes back to the 38.2% retracement level, which is going to be roughly around this previous low here, if it does that and then pushes up here, well then really it's not going to go that far because it's going to hit all this supply here. So it'll be something like that, and then we'll have this larger ABC pattern here. So we'll just see how far this pulls back. If it pulls back as a wave 4, then because we've got 5 waves here, we can see that. I've tried to look at it in different ways, but you can see clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we'd need to put this, not that one. Just got to get my brain working at Monday morning at after 5 o'clock. Okay, here we go. So 3 o'clock. 3. What am I talking about? 4 and then 5 up here. So it's probably, that would be the basic count at this point. All right, so it's a little bit different than the other markets, but not too far off. Apple can be like this too. We could look at Apple with a wave 3 here as well. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. Let's just see how far it pulls back. And yeah, but it'll be fantastic if we can get this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 up here. If it only pulls back roughly to the previous, 38.2% retracement level, or between 40 and 50%, then that's going to be fine. And then we get this up here, then this will be a fantastic buy here. And most of the other stocks are going to fall into this play too. One by one, they'll fall into it. So, yeah, based on this being a corrective wave here, and this is not an impulse wave to the downside. So the only caveat is that, yes, we could have this as an A and a B and a C wave here, and we come down in 5 waves here and then go up from that point. It's possible. Yeah, we could even also have a triangle in here, really. There's all that sort of stuff as well. But if we're looking at this as 1 and 2 over here, then it's not going to be a triangle, so we can rule that out. But yeah, so that's sort of where we are. Let's just keep a bit of an eye on it, really, and it'll be a bit of a guide stick for, for other markets as well. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's just go through a few things here with this one here. Yeah, so this will be, we've looked at this before, this will be this one here. So that's 61.8. So it wants to come down here further. We can look at it as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But anyway, it's got further to come down here. And we could look at this here. I know I've got this counted in different ways when we look at the intraday here. On the intraday, I've got this, I think I had it in orange. I think I changed it, but it'll be like this here. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down here, much the same as the NASDAQ and so on. So let's just see if it settles in here, okay? I won't go into the intraday, but I'm telling you it's going to go down further. And we'll see how it dropped here and then got back into support here. That's what we'll look for a long trade over here. And the 61.8% for this, if we need to look at this as all the wave 1 up here and wave 2, but I don't think that's the case because the rest of the markets are not like that. Not that they all have to follow each other, and they can all be they can be individual as well. But we'll just see how it goes. So the long trade will be for this market to drop below the 250, which is the medium level, and then find support on it. Then we can go long, and it won't go too far above here really. It'll go, maybe just above 30 here, because it just like it's not like this is extended out here. In fact, let me just have a look at the size of this here. Sorry to wrap it on, but yeah, see, we've got wave 3 smaller here. So it's either going to be a wave C, a wave 1, or a smaller wave 3. And if it's a smaller wave 3, then we can expect this one here to be smaller than, wave 3 here. So we could probably, yeah, I wouldn't probably take it any more than that 61.8%. I think I had it pretty much right at that point. I don't think it's got that much in it. We'll know shortly anyway. It matters and it doesn't. But if this is the case of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, then we're going to have this as the, as I mentioned, the ABC, and that will come down here and take out the stops and everything, and then we'll push up at that point, And Apple will be pretty much the same. There'll be some other stocks the same as this. We'll probably check out Nvidia and a few others as well. So let's see what we get here, shall we? Let's see how far this drop comes in here. We don't want it overlapping this too much. It can come and sit on it, but we don't want it overlapping it, too much. That's the thing. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.